And I think it's several elements. Plus you must have those songs and
I have, and I
In 1964, an unlikely romance began between Sonny Bono, a seasoned music producer, and Cher, a young, ambitious singer with dreams bigger than her circumstances. What started as a practical arrangement, Cher needed a place to stay, and Sonny offered her a roof over her head, soon spiraled into an intense and transformative relationship. But there was more than just music and romance at play. Behind the glitzy facade of their chart-topping hits and the beloved Sonny and Cher comedy hour, their personal lives were unraveling, filled with secrets, betrayals, and a growing struggle for control. Cher, once feeling safe and nurtured by Sonny's guidance, began to feel something far darker brewing beneath the surface. What drove her to finally walk away from the man who helped shape her career? The answer is shocking, and it all starts with an explosive moment that forever changed their dynamic. The rise to fame, a love and music legacy. Sonny and Cher's partnership wasn't just professional, it was a seismic force in the entertainment world. Together, they became an iconic duo, combining music, charisma, and undeniable chemistry that captured the hearts of millions. The world watched in awe as their musical partnership blossomed, with Cher's powerful voice complementing Sonny's unwavering confidence. But their rise to fame wasn't a fairy tale. It was a journey marked by power struggles, insecurity, and the pressures of success. Their breakthrough came in 1965 when their hit song, "I Got You, Babe," skyrocketed to the top of the charts. It became an anthem of the 60 seconds, a symbol of love, defiance, and youthful rebellion. With its infectious melody and unforgettable lyrics, the song catapulted them into international stardom. The duo appeared everywhere on the radio, in TV specials, and in the public eye, painting the image of a perfect, all-American couple. To the world, Sonny and Cher were inseparable music's golden couple, the picture of harmony. But behind the scenes, the cracks were already beginning to show. While Cher's career soared, she struggled with the overwhelming anxiety and stage fright that came with the pressure of performing as a solo artist. Sonny, ever the protector and guide, helped her overcome these fears. But this also began to set the stage for the eventual imbalance of power between them. Despite their undeniable talent, Sonny's overbearing need to control their professional lives, her career, her image started to take its toll on their personal lives. Their first television appearance as a comedy duo came in 1971 with the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, a show that turned out to be a cultural phenomenon. The show became a massive hit, blending music with sharp humor and sketches. Their natural chemistry on screen made them beloved by audiences, and the show provided the perfect setting for them to project the image of an ideal couple, happy and loving. They even featured their daughter, Chastity, now Chaz, bringing a touch of familial warmth to their public persona. However, the more successful they became, the more their personal relationship deteriorated. Cher began to feel suffocated. Sonny's infidelity and increasing need to control every aspect of their lives together started to gnaw at her. While they were bringing in millions and achieving monumental success, Cher began to question if this was the life she truly wanted. The ever-present tension between their public image and the underlying personal struggles became too much to ignore. The question on everyone's mind was, how long could this last before it all came crashing down? The cracks in the facade. Betrayal and control. While the public adored Sonny and Cher, the truth behind the scenes was far from perfect. Their dynamic, built on mutual respect and affection early on, began to shift dramatically as Sonny's controlling nature started to show its darker side. What once seemed like the perfect partnership slowly revealed a pattern of manipulation, betrayal, and emotional turmoil. Sonny's infidelity became one of the biggest points of contention between them. Cher had always trusted him, but the cracks began to appear when she realized that Sonny's charm wasn't enough to cover up his betrayal. The control that had initially made her feel safe began to feel suffocating as Sonny grew more possessive. Cher found herself constantly under scrutiny, with her every move monitored and her independence slowly chipped away. Her dissatisfaction didn't just stem from Sonny's behavior, it was also a reflection of her own internal struggle. Cher had always dreamed of being more than just the backup singer and second in command in their duo. As she watched her career skyrocket, she began to resent the fact that Sonny held the reins of their business and financial decisions. Cher was at the height of her musical success, but it was all under Sonny's shadow. Their personal problems spilled into their professional life, and the strain started to show on screen. While their show still had high ratings and their chemistry remained intact, their public appearances became increasingly strained. Cher began to demand more control over her career, insisting on renegotiating contracts and challenging Sonny's dominance in their professional life. The moment Cher realized how far her power was limited came when her then-boyfriend, David Geffen, uncovered a staggering fact. Sonny controlled 95% of their joint enterprises. Cher had been financially tied to him, unable to make decisions for herself and unable to freely pursue her creative goals. This was the turning point for Cher. She could no longer tolerate the imbalance of power that existed in both their personal and professional lives. The breaking point. Cher takes control. By 1974, the weight of their relationship was too much for Cher to bear. The public adored them, but behind closed doors, their relationship was unraveling. The emotional toll of living under Sonny's control had finally taken its toll on Cher. She reached the breaking point and made the most difficult decision of her life: to separate from Sonny and reclaim her independence. Their divorce, finalized in 1975, was not just the end of a marriage, it was the end of an era. The couple's bitter legal battle over finances and custody of their child, Chastity, was highly publicized, and Cher found herself fighting not just for her independence, but also for her dignity. It was a hard-fought battle. Cher accused Sonny of financial mismanagement, claiming that he had used his position to take advantage of her trust. The divorce wasn't just about money, it was about power. Sonny had always been the one to call the shots, but Cher was determined to fight back. Despite her accusations of financial exploitation, Cher also admitted that it wasn't just Sonny's actions that had led to their divorce, it was the toll of constantly being under someone else's control. She realized that the very things that had made her successful, her talent, her drive, had been stifled for years. The emotional scars from the divorce were deep. Cher had spent years feeling invisible and undervalued in their partnership, but now, with the divorce proceedings behind her, she had a chance to finally carve out a space for herself. The bitterness of the split left Cher feeling financially vulnerable, but it also ignited a fierce resolve to never let anyone control her career or her life again. Rebuilding and reinventing herself. A new beginning. Despite the pain and betrayal she'd faced, Cher was far from finished. She wasn't just going to fade into the background, she was going to rebuild her career and life from the ground up. The world had seen her as part of a duo, but now she would show them that she could shine on her own. She launched her self-titled television show, which became a major success. The show proved that she could command the stage and entertain audiences as a solo performer, without Sonny by her side. In the world of music, however, the transition wasn't as easy. Cher's solo music career struggled for a while, with albums like Stars and I'd Rather Believe in You not performing as expected. The pressure of following up her success with Sonny weighed heavily on her. But Cher refused to give up. She reinvented herself and went on to embrace the disco craze of the late 1970 seconds, releasing Take Me Home, which became a hit and solidified her place as a disco icon. But Cher's story didn't end there. After a rocky start in her music career, she found new success in acting. Her performance in Silkwood earned her widespread critical acclaim and an Academy Award nomination. It was her role in Moonstruck that solidified her status as a serious actress, earning her an Oscar for Best Actress. Despite all her personal struggles, Cher had proven to the world that she was more than just a pop star, she was a multi-talented force in Hollywood. Cher's life was far from ordinary. Even after everything, she continued to rise, breaking barriers and proving time and time again that no matter what obstacles came her way, she would always find a way to thrive. The reinvention of Cher wasn't just about her career, it was about her reclaiming control over her life, her identity, and her destiny. Cher's remarkable journey continues to inspire millions, reminding us all of the power of resilience and the importance of never giving up on ourselves. Cher's journey, from her turbulent relationship with Sonny Bono to her rise as a powerhouse in music and film, is a testament to resilience, reinvention, and unwavering determination. She didn't just survive the storms in her life, she thrived. The emotional scars of her marriage, the betrayal, the financial struggles, and the public scrutiny were just the beginning of her transformation. Cher didn't let her past define her. Instead, she used it as fuel to propel herself forward, constantly evolving and reinventing her image to remain relevant in an ever-changing industry. After her divorce from Sonny, Cher could have easily faded into obscurity, but instead, she redefined herself as a solo artist and a serious actress. With her own television show and the release of hit albums in the late 70s, Cher showed the world that she was more than just a pop icon. Her transition into acting, where she earned critical acclaim and an Academy Award for Moonstruck, proved that she was a force to be reckoned with. This victory wasn't just about her Oscar, it was a validation of her versatility, her strength, and her commitment to never being boxed into a single identity. Her path wasn't always smooth. The early challenges of establishing herself as an independent artist, overcoming her fears, and rebuilding after personal and professional setbacks were part of her unique narrative. Yet, Cher's ability to weather these challenges is what makes her truly remarkable. She took ownership of her career, learning from past mistakes and seizing opportunities that allowed her to remain at the top of her game. Cher's story is not just about overcoming adversity. It's about empowerment. She demonstrated that one's personal and professional life doesn't have to be defined by the limitations others impose. She chose to write her own story, create her own future, and prove that age, failure, and hardship are mere stepping stones to even greater success. Today, at 78, Cher continues to inspire the world with her fearlessness, her artistry, and her refusal to ever be anyone but herself. Her legacy is one of breaking boundaries, defying expectations, and empowering others to live unapologetically. Cher's journey is far from over, and as she gears up for new projects and creative ventures, the world can only wait for the next chapter in her legendary story.